So today I gave myself a bit of a challenge. The challenge is I'll learn to do a couple of things that I've never done before. Like one, I want to make a hyperlapse. I've never made a hyperlapse, ever. And as far as I know, it's kind of tricky. Like you have to follow these certain step-by-step process, which I am going to go through. Let me first explain to you what is a hyperlapse. A hyperlapse is basically like a moving time lapse. The way you even make these two are entirely different. One is like you record it, the other one you have to take pictures. And the one you take pictures is hyperlapse. So for starters, you would definitely want to turn on the grid of your camera, because that way you will get the most steady shots as possible for your hyperlapse. That way you don't have to worry about using a tripod. Now the most simplest way to explain to you how to make a hyperlapse is to take a picture of the subject and then take a step forward and then take another picture and then take another step forward. Now you could use a gimbal or a tripod to do the same thing, but in this video I'll be showing you how to do it handheld, because not all of us have a tripod or a gimbal, and I wanted to make this as simple as possible so that anyone can do it just with a camera or your phone. And yes, your phone. So I wanted to show you that anyone can really use a phone and then make these hyperlapse, because it's not so hard to make it with the phone. You just take it out and then just take a bunch of pictures. And the amount of pictures that you need to take, I'm gonna tell you. So the way you would make this hyperlapse is you need to count the number of seconds you want your hyperlapse to be. So if it's a 1 second hyperlapse, then you want 24 frames for 1 second, because 24 frames per second. Did that make sense? So 1 second, 24 frames. 2 seconds, do the math. Some tips for using your phone would be to turn on the grid, because when you turn on the grid, you'll be able to take these pictures a lot better, because you'll be putting one of those points, like the cross point, on one point of the subject of what you'll be shooting. If your grid is turned off, just go to your camera setting, just turn it on. It's usually labeled like grid type. What I do is I just pick the 4x4. The 4x4 gives me a lot more points to work with, so that way I can just pick one of those cross points and just place it on the subject that I'm shooting. So on my second day, I used a wider lens. I had to go to Ronkonkoma for this. I borrowed my friend's camera. There was like a nice lake, beach kind of thing going on over there. So I took his camera, and that one was way easier to use because it had that balancing thing. If you have that in your camera, amazing, because that will help you a lot while making these hyperlapses, because you want to be as precise as possible, because since you're doing this handheld, that way it will be a lot more easier when you actually go to edit these pictures. So the good thing about using a wide lens is that you can cover a lot more surface, you know, like you can actually show where you are. Like these are really good for like those city landscape ones, and then these are really good for like, you know, if you want to show like the whole view, like yeah, that makes sense. So the third day I went back to the city, and with my 50 prime lens. So with the 50, the good things are you get more details and more you can do like more of a close-up portrait kind of styled hyperlapse. I experimented with these statues, and which was a little bit easier to do because, you know, they're not moving so much. So this is the final part of making the hyperlapse. This is where you do all the editing. I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro to do all my editing. To begin with, you'll import all your pictures in Adobe Premiere Pro. And then you will right click and click on speed duration, and you're going to change that to 1 second. After that, drag all your clips into the timeline, and then you're going to click on new adjustment layer, and then you're going to drag that on top of your pictures. And then you're going to go onto your effects and type in grid, and then drag that grid onto the adjustment layer. Once you've done that, you're going to go and change the blending mode to add, and adjust the anchor point to one of the points in your picture. That will be our guide to tell us where that point will be for the rest of the pictures. Then I'm going to click on the anchor point and then create a box around it, just so I only have that portion of that grid. Then I'm just going to keep changing the position of the picture to line it up with that grid point. Once I'm done, I'm gonna turn off the grid. I'm going to select all the pictures, right click and click on nest. That would make all those pictures into just one video thing. Then I'm going to go to the effects and type in warp. Then you'll see warp stabilizer VFX. Drag that onto your clip. And on the smoothness, I'm going to keep it to 15%. Any more than that, it's not necessary because you already did most of the work. So this is just gonna help smooth out the video for that very smooth hyperlapse. Just wait till it's done. It shouldn't take any more than like 2-3 minutes max. And once you're done, you have your smooth hyperlapse. I hope you guys liked this video. I had a really fun time making these hyperlapses. Like this was a journey for me because I never made this before, and I know this video is gonna be very crappy and it's gonna have a lot of issues that I will probably notice like later. I'll be like, oh, I wish this was different, I wish that was different. But hey, this was my first video and I really wanted to like just, you know, make something just so I could get started with. I want to keep doing these projects. Like I want to keep making and like pushing myself and doing these challenges. So if you guys have more things for me, please let me know in the comment section below. I will try my best to do them. Okay, anyways, yeah, hope you like it. Leave comments, let me know what you think, and subscribe if you want to. I'll be posting more videos soon. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. Alright. I don't know how to end this. This is weird.